In the 1970s, the first at-home games released by Atari were all dedicated machines that featured only a single built-in game like Pong or video pinball. The Game Brain was the company's first concept for an interchangeable cartridge-based gaming console. However, in actuality, this system was really just intended to provide an outlet for Atari to make use of the CPUs from all their unsold dedicated game machines. The Game Brain didn't really feature any new technology at all and was pretty much just a power supply with a video output and some built-in controls. Eventually, Atari canceled its plans for the Game Brain to make way for the Atari 2600 in 1977, which was probably a smart move, considering the 2600 would become a huge success and earn recognition as Atari's flagship product. In 1991, Sega announced that it planned to develop a virtual reality headset for arcades and consoles. 2 years later, at the Winter Consumer Electronics Show, they unveiled a prototype that seemed to be an adaptation of a similar headset already in use by Sega in arcades. They also announced that a console version was in development and should be available to consumers in the spring of 1994, but due to development difficulties, the Sega VR console headset remained only a prototype and was unfortunately never released to the general public. Reports indicate that the Sega VR headset suffered from many of the same problems that plagued Nintendo's failing VR offering, the Virtual Boy. Namely, after prolonged use, users would develop headaches and get bad cases of motion sickness. But at least Sega VR was an actual headset with a physical design similar to that of the Oculus Rift and other soon-to-be-released VR designs. The Virtual Boy wasn't even wearable and caused constant neck pains from having to always lean in to view the screen. When Atari announced the Cosmos in 1981, they proclaimed it was a sophisticated handheld game system with 3D and holographic technology. However, in actuality, the gaming machine wasn't nearly as revolutionary as they made it out to be. The supposed holographic technology was merely a pre-printed overlay that acted more like an accessory for a number of basic, interchangeable electronic games displayed on a small grid of red LEDs. As soon as people learned what the Cosmos really was, the hype train abruptly stopped and Atari discontinued its plans for the system. However, a few fully functional Atari Cosmos systems actually did get built, and now they stand as a coveted collector's item. As is the case with a lot of unreleased gaming systems, the story of Infinium Labs' Phantom involves a lot of unkept promises and lost money. To summarize, Infinium Labs designed the Phantom so it could play standard PC games on a TV, thereby making the PC gaming experience more console-like. But the most novel feature of the system was the fact that it didn't use any sort of removable media. Instead, users would buy games online and then download them to the Phantom over the internet. Now, although digital distribution is commonplace today, back in 2004, before all the digital rights management was in place, a lot of companies were skeptical it could be pulled off. Between 2004 and 2006, Infinium Labs squandered over $60 million trying to push the Phantom to market. Unfortunately, it wasn't long before all the money ran out and the Phantom vanished from the gaming world forever. At the 1991 Consumer Electronics Show, Nintendo of America revealed that they were partnering with European electronics firm Philips to make a CD-ROM-based video game console. This announcement shocked Sony engineers who had recently demonstrated the product they were planning on developing in partnership with Nintendo. Sony's product was intended to be the world's first cartridge CD hybrid console, making both formats available to the game developers. They called the prototype console the PlayStation. While Nintendo and Sony attempted to sort out their differences, approximately 200 PlayStation units were created, but with Nintendo retaining control of the profits from the sale of the games, the two organizations were never able to see eye to eye on many critical issues. By 1993, Sony would see its efforts refocused on developing its own gaming console to compete with Nintendo's offerings.